This is Jeff Mesnick. I'm excited to be here today with Darren Harbaugh, who is with Synex. He's just gotten a new role, I think, and I'd love, Darren, for you to kind of say hello and introduce yourself to the folks and tell us about your new role and kind of your vision around that.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Jeff. Thanks for having me on today. Appreciate the time. So I lead our Stellar business at Synex, which is our cloud mobility and IoT organization, representing many of the fantastic vendors across the North American landscape. In particular, pretty significant organization that we lead, incredible growth in our business, and as we look forward, some very significant areas within the business that we're partnering with those vendors.
Excellent. So one of the aspects of your role you mentioned is the cloud business. So we've been doing a bunch of different interviews with folks about the cloud and wondering what they think the future holds. Are there going to be dominant players? Do you see hybrid, multi-cloud, cloud or die, some people say?
Yeah, interesting. So if you've seen the evolution of the cloud over the years, this has been around for a long time, but I think it more predominantly became known as the cloud, 5, 6, 7 years ago, and um, has been a hyper growth across those years. In particular, I would say public cloud in particular, and now we're at a point where most of the vendors understand that hybrid is here to stay. Whether you're looking at the SMB or the enterprise, many customers want to both have both a private and public cloud scenarios. As we look forward to the next years ahead of us, I would say some things that stick out in particular. Automation is a significant player within the cloud business and will continue to influence. In particular, I'd call out analytics and machine learning. Um, AI and machine learning are two key components. We are well set up as an organization to help lead there, both with our partners, our mutual partners, and our customers. And then Also containerization and microservices are key. So we continue to hone in on those specific expertises and areas of competencies, if you will, with our vendors, because we believe that's the space that will continue to evolve us for the years coming. As well as I would say, as it relates to the hybrid, we want to make sure that we're leading with a multi-cloud platform, because both our partners as well as our customers are looking for diversification in their businesses and in their portfolios. So critical areas that we continue to focus on.
Yeah, it sounds interesting. I mean, I'm a big believer. So for a while there, I was following along and people were saying cloud or die, cloud or die. And I became a big believer in the hybrid and multi-cloud the more people said it, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just seems that there's different, whether you're on Azure, Google, IBM, AWS, whatever it might be that you're on, there seems to be a role for them in the industry.
Yeah, absolutely. I fully agree. You named, some of the significant cloud platforms, cloud partners that are out there that we work with, and I would agree. It seems like there's a play for everybody depending on their specific area of focus or niche. And certainly, as I mentioned, more times than not, we see both our partners and our customers designing their strategy around a multi-cloud platform for whether it be individual niche areas of focus, diversification. Um, we've seen it, and we've really seen it in a number of areas, and we do believe there's a fair amount of vendors that we work with out there that do have significant growth ahead and diversification in the business.
So if, I'm an ISV and I'm looking to figure out what's going to help me become most successful in working with you guys. What are some of the key things that I should be thinking about? Because as you know, ISVs are popping up everywhere. and they're all looking for their edge. So how would they get their edge with Synex?
Yeah, great question. We work with a number of very successful ISVs. If you think about it across the globe, significant large ISVs. Some of it you've already mentioned. I mean, to some degree, are still ISVs at heart, and smaller niche ISVs. We work with the entire ecosystem, and some things that stick out to me in particular as we're working with these partners. One is ease of use. Um, Cost management, cost optimization is another critical component. So if you think of platforms or marketplaces we work with these vendors on, we key in on the small partner that's out there that an ISV wants to work with, or customer, if you will. There are some very small operations up to the large enterprises, and ease of use is always paramount. How do we design, deploy, and utilize the technology, and both from the purchase and provision standpoint, as well as all the way through the use case. And ease of use is always paramount and top of the list, if you will. Cost and cost optimization. So if you think of many of the tools that are out there today, and the manageability of an environment, of the costs that they are incurring, both current state as well as future state, and how do they optimize those, that's super critical. And then a couple other areas I just touch on: flexibility and scalability. How are we deploying tools and offerings for our customers that have the ability to scale, both within an environment and across an ecosystem. And lastly, I always remind our teams, partner and customer support are paramount. We have to be there when our customers need us, whether it's a phone call, an email, a chat, what have you, depending on their particular use case. Picking up the phone still matters, and customer relationships are super, super critical.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, the last point is kind of one of my favorites because everyone is so focused on the cloud and AI and automation that they actually forget that even at the core level, it's still person to person that drives the opportunity.
100%. Our slogan is pick up the phone, right? Every day you're going to run into a situation where a customer has a need. Maybe there's an issue. Maybe it's something, whether it's their customer or a technology created. They want to know somebody's on the other end, a live person, if you will. And picking up the phone, walking them through the challenge, and helping them solve it is, at the end of the day, it's still about two people working together.
Excellent. Well, I got one last question for you. I'm sure we've all had an opportunity to celebrate some great successes. And when you are with some of your channel partners or your vendors, and you want to toast and you want to raise a glass, what is your favorite drink to raise a glass to, or drinks?
That's a loaded question, but I'd be lying if I didn't say I'm a red wine connoisseur.
Oh, nice.
So I would always toast a wine or a glass of water, depending on your preference. But absolutely, cheers to our customers and our partners out there. We wouldn't be here without them.
Well, great. Well, thank you so much, Darren. This has been excellent. I really enjoyed our conversation, and hopefully we can circle back and talk more in the future. After you've been around in the role for another 6 months, we'll get back and hear your successes.
Love it. Thanks for having me, and look forward to seeing you soon.
Great.